After that whole long mess at Coyote Pass, I just wanted to let him go. "What are you going to do now?" someone asked. "Well," I said, "I'm going to apologize. It's my journey. My hope is simply that they'll accept it." So I went, took a deep breath, and said, "I just wanted to come and say, I'm sorry." And then the big one came out. "I apologize for ever saying I didn't love you." You could almost feel the room pause. "This is my husband here," someone reminded him. "Why do you think this is appropriate?" But the truth was, an apology really was needed. All this was still painfully toxic. "So, do you apologize?" she asked. "For being toxic to me?" Music. "Hey, besties. Let's talk about something that's been stirring up the internet again. Cody Brown, yes. That Cody Brown is being called out by one of his own children, who says he's lying." Leon Brown took to social media recently and called out Cody for not being honest regarding how much he really reaches out to his kids. All this started after he posted a viral video claiming he's been trying to get in contact with his children, but they are just not responding. He basically blamed the kids, and not himself, for the broken relationships. He insisted he's doing everything he can to reconnect. Well, Leon says that's simply not true. Let me show you a couple of the things Cody has been saying on the show and in interviews about the situation with his kids. He said, "I'm reaching out. When you start to heal a relationship that's been bad for years, it gets, well, it's not pretty. I don't want to call it ugly because I guess it's progress. But the real issue is that we broke up as a family. I can't be the only one responsible for that. Everyone has to take responsibility. But yeah, I could have done better. I know that. And of course, I'm making an effort, have been making an effort, to be in contact with my children, to do the hard work of fixing these strained relationships." When asked how that's going, Cody explained, "It's tough. When you're on reality TV or doing podcasts, everything you say is recorded. People judge you based on that. My opinion of myself doesn't matter. It's your opinion of me, what you tell the public, that matters. And when your kids go, 'My dad did this, my dad did that,' you really can't defend yourself. I can't throw my kids under the bus. And maybe I've said something I shouldn't have said about them. And that hurts relationships. Reality TV can be really hard on families." Then last week on the show, Cody said again, "I've reached out to every one of my children multiple times, and if they don't have a relationship with me, it's because they're not reciprocating." He voiced that same message on Fox 5 in New York, stating he's trying to repair things, but the kids aren't responding. He further blamed his ex-wives, suggesting his children are just listening to their mothers. And on the Decider podcast, he took it one step further. He blamed podcasters and journalists, yes, people like me, for influencing his children by reporting on what he himself says publicly. According to him, it's not his words that upset the kids. It's how we report them. But here's the thing. I've watched McKeldy watch this show in real time. And I can say with full confidence, she's not reacting to clips or to what bloggers say. She's reacting to his own words. And more importantly, what hurts the kids the most isn't what they see on TV. It's how he treats them when the cameras aren't rolling. Leon didn't hold back. They said, "Let me be very clear. I have not heard from that man since my brother took his own life. Cody blatantly ignored me at Garrison's funeral. He is a liar. He is a joke of a father, that's all." So, yes, Leon saw that clip of Cody saying he reaches out to his kids. And they weren't responding to commentary or gossip. They were reacting to Cody's own words that just don't match their lived reality. Now, to be fair, Mykelti has said that Cody reached out to her a couple of times, and she didn't respond. So it's possible he's contacting the kids he still feels close to. But one thing is for sure. He hasn't contacted all of his kids. And honestly, the family's been deeply fractured ever since Garrison's death. The behavior that Cody and Robin showed at the funeral and everything thereafter really pushed the family to a breaking point. Some of the children feel that this damage can't be undone, at least not when it comes to how they see their father. Many of them believe that Cody's treatment of Garrison, how he talked about him on the show, how he blamed Garrison and Gabriel for his split with Janelle, contributed to Garrison's downward spiral in his mental health. Even Janelle has said that since the estrangement, Garrison struggled more and more. He was facing depression, trying to cope, and using drinking as a way to numb the pain. Or rather, as it has been so publicly described, at the root was rejection. The feeling of being attacked by his own father on national television and having to carry the weight of that emotional fallout. Some of the Brown children aren't even speaking to him now. They feel he hurt them with his behavior on the show and in their minds helped lead to what happened to Garrison. I should stress here, this is their perception, as stated in interviews and articles. Not every child has expressed the exact same sentiment, but this is the general sense that's been expressed. Mykelti has made one thing very clear. She just doesn't have the emotional bandwidth to talk to him. She has also said it was Cody's behavior at the funeral that finally made her cut ties with both him and Robin. And now Leon is saying the same thing. They were ignored at the funeral, completely dismissed. And since that fateful day, they say Cody hasn't contacted them at all. What stands out is the line, "Since my brother killed himself, I have not heard from him." That says it all. On the show, though, Cody continues to say he wants to repair relationships. He even spoke about Garrison in a way that seemed designed to gain sympathy. He shared a memory saying, "I had a beer with Garrison the last time we were together." And yes, that's a sweet moment, if it's true. But here's the problem. After Garrison died, Cody told People magazine something different. He said he wished he could have had a beer with his son. Now he says he did. These two stories don't match up. And considering everything that is known about this strained relationship, it's hard to believe that moment happened the way Cody describes it. We also know that in the hours immediately before he died, Garrison sent some heartbreaking texts to his dad, and the medical examiner reported that his cause of death was a self-inflicted gunshot wound, with acute alcohol poisoning as an underlying cause. His blood alcohol was extraordinarily high, exceeding 33. So high that it significantly impaired his thinking. Had he been sober that night, the outcome might have been very different. And yet here's Cody saying, "Well, I got to have a beer with my son." He had earlier told People magazine that he always wished he could have shared a beer with his son, but now he was claiming that he actually did. It's hard not to notice how often these stories change. And when the truth is so easy to check, these inconsistencies really stand out. And honestly, this is the kind of thing that pushes his children even further away, not what anybody else reports. Whether one thinks he is a good person or no, the real issue here is that his kids are reacting to his own words about them. We think showing both sides, what Cody says and what his children say, creates a much clearer picture. For instance, Cody keeps insisting he's reaching out. But then Leon says, "No, he's not. I haven't heard from him since March 2024. And here we are in November 2025. That's 19 months of silence, nearly 2 years. And then, at the funeral, he didn't speak to some of his kids at all. I mentioned a while back that someone who was with one of the National Guard events told me Cody did the same thing there, walked in acting like nothing was wrong, and ignored the kids he didn't want to deal with. To be fair, a couple of the kids didn't want to speak to him either. But still, the behavior fits a long-standing pattern. Given Cody's history of stretching the truth, it's not hard for me to believe Leon. And honestly, Leon's statement broke my heart, especially because it lines up with what I was told almost 2 years ago, that Cody rejects Leon because he doesn't accept their transition. I was told that Cody will not speak to Leon because they are transgender, and that Robin and her older daughters have said hurtful things about Leon, calling them evil and mocking them. The Sun even published reporting from a source close to Cody saying that he does not recognize Leon, does not accept them, and refuses to have a relationship with them. On the other hand, Mary has handled things very differently. She's kept a relationship with Leon. She respects Leon's privacy, and when people ask about Leon during Instagram lives or TikTok lives, she keeps her answers simple and protective. Leon doesn't want to be public. I don't want to invade their privacy. They're good. We're good. That's why, on the show, you almost never hear Mary or Cody discuss Leon. Mary keeps things private out of love, and honestly, I believe that speaks volumes about her character as a mom. Because if Mary wants to go public about why she and Cody don't get along anymore, she could say so much. She could talk about the money issues, about Coyote Pass, about how he's treated her. But the biggest, most painful part is his rejection of Leon. And she keeps that quiet, not to protect Cody, but to protect her child. Look, everyone has a right to their beliefs, but it's when it is your child standing in front of you saying, "This is who I am," that rejecting them cuts deeper than almost anything else. As a mother, no matter what my views may be, I cannot imagine turning my back on my child for simply being themselves. And research is very clear. Rejection from family, especially parents, is one of the biggest contributors to depression, anxiety, and even suicidal thoughts among transgender and LGBTQ+ youth. Acceptance can be life-saving. Yet Cody continues to put his desire for fame above the well-being of his children. And that's why Leon speaking out is so important. They're telling the truth as they've lived it. I really do think that Cody suddenly embarking on some kind of apology tour is all about trying to shut the kids up. His lies are dependent upon other people playing along, and now that the family has stopped covering for him, he can't continue to hide behind the old facade anymore. Whereas he could get away with a lot when everyone kept quiet now, they're not protecting him. And without that protection, his stories fall apart. Cody knows the show is a huge pain source in his family, and he keeps going anyway. Being on television seems to him more important than repairing relationships. My heart goes out to Leon, and frankly to anyone who has ever been rejected by a parent for who they are. No one deserves that kind of pain. We'll see if more of the Brown children decide to speak out. But that's everything I have for you today. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, bestie.